Yeah.
or if Rich Traster is in the stands?
Yeah, so we're broadcasting. I will check our audience, and if anybody is in there, I will ask them to be promoted to panelists.
Okay, all right, great. Then yeah, let's go ahead and start.
Yep, Colin's here.
Oh, okay.
I
And
see
there's
Rich.
Yep. So we can promote Colin to a panelist.
Yep. So Colin, you should be able to unmute yourself as a panelist.
Yep, should be good.
Oh, good.
Great.
All right.
That's
So,
Sean
So-
is unmuted, so
No, I just unmuted myself, but I can't. Can you see me? I don't think you can see.
Yes.
yeah, we
yes,
can see
yes,
you.
we can.
Me. Well,
Yeah.
I can't see myself. So.
I can't either, but
I think you have to change your view
Oh.
to
All right.
gallery side by side or something like that, and do a full screen.
I can't see my own self either.
but you're there.
You're here.
Okay, all right.
We
You're
see
coming
you.
through.
That's fine. So Kristen's not going to be able to be here, and she is our secretary. So while she can pick minutes out of the recording, can somebody help me just sort of administrate the meeting and read off of the agenda for me, and just keep, like help me because I can't really see it.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, great.
And I will and I'm going to I'll transcribe some notes, so
Okay,
on the side. So
perfect. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do is take a roll call of attendance. That way we have attendance on record, and also it's something that we're supposed to do while we meet on Zoom. So I figured we might as well start doing that too. I've been noticing that at all the other city meetings. Andy, is that correct?
That's correct. And actually, all motions have to be taken as a roll call vote. Each person noting their vote during remote meetings. It's a part of a state regulation.
Right. Okay. Duly noted. Okay. So basically, everybody, what that means is that instead of like me being able to just say all in favor, aye, we can't do that. We have to actually take a roll call of our names in favor, yay or nay, or whatever, yes or no. And when I take a roll call for attendance, just, present or here is fine. Everybody good on that?
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take a roll call. So Lisa Rowan,
Here.
Brian Greenberg,
here,
Colin Sarf,
Here.
Sean Flaherty,
Here.
Richard Traster,
he might be muted, but he was here.
Can you hear us? Can you?
Rich, you're muted.
Just give us a thumbs up, Rich. Give us a thumbs up. There, he gave us a thumbs up. He's
Okay,
here.
so he can hear us and he's here.
Yes.
Okay. And then Kristen Farrell is absent. And I'm not forgetting anyone, right? I don't think so. I think that's all of
Chris.
us. Okay.
Chris is not here.
Chris? Oh,
Chris is not actually a member at this point.
Okay.
He didn't officially step down himself, but he also didn't respond when he was up for renewal through several attempts and the mail and email, and he never did respond. So, and I know that he can't do the Zoom meeting. So maybe we'll hear from him when we're meeting again in person. I don't really know. I haven't been in touch with him. So right now he's not an active member as of current. But there is 8 of us, which is pretty good. So, and we do have is that right? 8? I think so. Anyway, so we're good to go. We have a quorum. Is Andrea Egmont here? No,
She's not here. No, I can try to reach her and see if she's able to check in, but she's not here right now.
okay, if you could, that would be great, since I'm on my phone. But we can go ahead and start without her and see if she pops in with any updates for us that, she could speak to. So Brian, why don't you go ahead and tell me let's have you get me started here, because I can't see you.
Okay, so the next one would be the approval of the previous meeting minutes.
Okay, I'm going to motion to table that until Kristen is back with us, because I don't think she was able to get the minutes out to everybody. So if I have a second, we'll take a roll call for that.
Yeah, I second that, Jenny. This is Lisa.
Okay, so in favor, we're in favor of tabling the minutes.
Yes,
Lisa,
aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Sean,
Aye.
Colin,
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Excellent. Okay, we're doing this. All right, so we'll table those minutes, and then what do we have next?
And the next is to hear from other members and public comment.
Okay,
I don't think there is anybody here. other
no,
than-
I don't think there's anyone in the public comment.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything they want to bring up?
Yeah, this is Sean. I just want to say, I really can't see anybody. I don't know. I try to do some things with my phone. So if I look silly, it's because I can't really see myself.
Oh,
But I'm
Sean,
just-
Sean, if you're on the phone, sometimes if you scroll to the right or left, touch your screen and, go to the right or left, you can see different views.
Yes, I've been able to do that. I don't know what the heck I'm in. And I'm afraid to get out of it.
Oh, okay.
We can't see you, so you're not doing anything foolish. And
Okay.
we hear you loud and clear.
All right. Sounds good.
So you're good.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, and like I said, I can't see myself either, so I'm sure I don't know which direction I'm looking, and who knows what I must look like.
You look great.
You look
I-
fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
Thank
a
you
movie
very
star.
much. Okay, so in that case, we'll just
We'll just move. Next
right
is
on.
so next is the update from the ADA coordinator.
which we don't have with us, so we'll be skipping
Okay.
that.
All right. The next item is the mailbox on Green Street update.
I read the
Okay,
paper this week. Good article.
you know what just popped in my head? I'm sorry to interrupt. Karen is not with us. I forgot about Karen.
Oh, okay. Not present.
She's not in the audience, is she?
No.
Okay, well, so on the record, I just want to mark that she's also absent, but I
Okay.
believe we still have a quorum without her.
This is Andy, the host. I just, as a suggestion, just because I actually host a lot of board meetings, I've noticed that this commission has a little bit more trouble with the connections and the functioning of the Zoom meeting and so forth. I don't know if that's helpful at all to have any kind of overview at a future meeting of anything. I'm happy to do that. But also, I think it might help if it sounds like there's a little bit more preparation that we need to arrange with each member before each meeting to know, one, whether or not they're going to be there, which on some other commissions, we ask, folks to verify in an email chain, whether you plan on attending. And two, for instance, the disabilities coordinator, Andy Egmont, whether or not she's able to attend. I know that's come up a couple of times as well. So I'm wondering if we could do a couple of things in advance of the next meeting you have to make things run smoother for you.
Yeah, Andrew, thank you. Typically, I send out a reminder a week in advance. There's a couple members I try to remember to remind that day. But Karen is a newer member too, so it might be probably best if I just put it on myself to remind all the new members, that day. And as far as Andrea goes, she's not required to be at all of our meetings. It's really fantastic when she can be, but it's not a requirement by far. And the best I can do is just reach out to her and ask her to just let me know. Try to stay on top of her the same week as the meeting to find out if she'll be able to pop on the meeting that week or not.
Right. Exactly. Just so
so-
everything's a little smoother, because you as chair will know who's expected to be there right at the beginning of the meeting. It won't be I've noticed a little bit more difficulty with determining whether or not people are going to be there or not at the beginning of your
Right.
meeting.
Jenny,
And-
you normally do ask us to respond, and you didn't this week, so.
You're probably right. And I normally do ask, and I'll just be a little more clear and diligent, and keeping this in mind that, with the Zooms, I feel like we're all still adjusting a little bit to it.
We're also adults.
so,
We should know enough to
you
let
know,
you know.
but
We're adults,
Andy,
Jenny. We should know
know.
enough to let you know that we're coming.
I'll just, make sure I'm definitely specific to have everybody reply, and noting the importance of that, so we have this in order. Andy, I'm sorry, we look like such a bunch of clowns.
No,
I
not at
swear
all.
we
It's
do
just,
kind of have it together.
Not at all. Just trying to be helpful, because I do so many of these. I can see where like certain things can be made more efficient or easier for each member, so we just make those.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump back to what we were about to mention, the mailbox on Green Street. And yes, that article yesterday, did everybody get to see it, or just some
No.
of you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
Who was a no?
No, I did not.
Is that you, Brian?
That's Brian. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it was on the front page of yesterday's newspaper. Do you guys get the Daily News?
Yep.
I can find the link.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
city council,
Mhm.
makes efforts to get the Green Street mailbox back. Something to that effect is the title. Pretty good article, I thought. So the update with that is that the city council did vote to all, put their names on the letter. Councilor Tantar had done a little research and had actually found some precedent in other states where congressmen have actually intervened with local postmasters to get some of these drive-up boxes returned. So he suggested sending the letter not only to the postmaster, but also to Congressman Moulton. So that everybody agreed that, to include that amendment for the motion. And that is what is happening currently. I believe it's just a matter of the clerk was collecting everybody's signatures electronically, and then they were going to be sending that out. I can send everybody a copy of that letter. I meant to, and it escaped me, but after this meeting, I will quickly just send everybody a copy of what we basically, agreed upon with Barry Connell, who wrote it up. Kristen took a quick look at it and made a few quick edits, and that's the copy I'll send to everybody. So
there really wasn't any good reason for the move, really, in my opinion.
I mean, from what I understand, it's just that, they've been doing that countrywide. That's all really that we can get for a concrete answer, other than, oh, there was some vandalism, or there was some fishing in it, there was some trash put in it, but nothing substantial, and nothing ever reported to the police, nothing ever brought to the police's attention or mayor's attention or anybody. So that's all noted in the letter. And the city even, designed that portion of Green Street to include that pull-up spot instead of having parking there, for that convenience. So it all that's outlined in the letter. I think Councilor Connell did a pretty nice job really outlining it all. And like I said, I'll share that with everybody so you can kind of see what we've all collaborated on with
Yeah,
him.
it
Um,
defies logic.
Yeah, it really does. And it's really affecting a lot of people. It's just,
It's the
it does
mailbox
defy
I
logic.
used. I would ride up in my wheelchair.
Oh, Andrea Egmont is with us. Yay.
Hi, sorry guys, I've been in registration worlds. I totally lost track.
That's okay. I'm happy that you were able to pop on. We were just talking about the update with the Green Street mailbox and the letter that the city council sort of did jointly with us. Did you catch wind of that at all?
Yeah, about the mailbox, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the headline today and I thought, oh, that's a great idea. But I didn't get a chance to read it. So the city council joined on too. Hi, Colin. Oh, I'm excited. Colin's here.
Yes.
I've known Colin since he was little in the program.
Oh, good. Well, we're very happy to have him. Yeah, so it was actually Councillor Connell brought it to my attention and he asked if we would partner up with him and the council. And so he put together a really great letter, which I was just saying to everybody, they voted to have all the councilors put their name on it. So it'll be in conjunction with the city
Awesome.
council and the Disability Commission. And then they're also going to send it to Seth Moulton because there's some precedent for congressmen to intervene with this sort of thing. So, I mean, fingers crossed, the postmaster seems pretty stern about not putting it back, but I'm just going to keep
Jenny,
my
what
fingers
was their
crossed with this
reasoning? I
effort.
hate to ask you to repeat stuff, but what is their reasoning for not having it there?
Well, there was a couple different things they pointed to. They pointed loosely to like vandalism and fishing. And, so there was this concern of safety and that there's also this countrywide effort that these types of boxes have been removed because they're not safe. And also they're trying to get away from people putting packages in the mailboxes instead of just letters. And,
It's a size thing.
a size thing. So they changed the type of mailbox to it just being big enough for a letter slot.
Okay, so it's just basically them saying we don't do that anymore.
Right. Right.
Okay.
But
All right.
some states have had some luck with congressmen intervening with the postmasters and getting the drive-up boxes returned. So that's, there is a little bit of precedent, and we're just hoping to appeal, well enough to maybe get a little action. So we're going to just follow up when that goes through and gets sent out.
Cool.
And then what else? What was next, Brian?
The next agenda item is the 21st Street driveway update.
Okay.
21st.
Oh,
20
that
Fair
probably
Street, is that what you said?
It
I
says
think that means to read 20 Fair Street.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably,
sorry.
But I did it speech to text and it probably came out
Okay.
21st Street.
Oh,
Yep, sorry about that.
20 Fair Street.
That's supposed to read, yeah.
Okay.
Scribner's
Okay.
error, sorry.
No problem.
So the update
I can give it up.
Is Andrea, you can probably speak to that, I'm guessing.
Yep. So I did some research and I ended up sending the mayor's office a recommendation that they look at this appeal as an accommodation for his disability and not as a permitting appeal, basically. So what we did is I suggested that they follow the same steps that the city has for somebody who's requesting a handicap parking spot on their street. So basically what that meant is that Dr. Bloom had to have his doctor sign off that it was, medically necessary. And then I believe once that was done, then it was going to be left up to the DPW to decide. And that basically as long as they put one car in front and not two, that there's enough access. So then the argument is they lost one spot, but they also took one car off the street. So the mayor had approved that and was taking it to the next level. So I don't know if they got the final sign off, but I believe that the medical form had been requested and that they were following that process.
Okay, great.
I can provide a little bit more information.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, so Dr. Bloom's physician did send out the letter, and it was received by the mayor's office. Claire and Paul were unsure that the message they got, it would go to a committee, and they thought that might be us. But it sounds like, Andy, would that be go to the city council before?
No.
DPS?
No, so what it turned out is that ordinance that had changed, you know how they had referred to the ordinance that had changed while they had gone through the process?
Okay.
What the ordinance really said is that the director of DPW has the final approval on those permits. However, they're now required to let the ward counselors know, I believe, like 20 days in advance or something. And so, it really didn't give the city council permission to say it couldn't happen. It gave them an opportunity to give their concerns, which is where we suggested, limiting how many cars could park in front, and, being responsive to the counselor's concerns. But as far as I know, at this point, it's back in the mayor's hand. If she has the medical back, then the next step would be for DPW. I can check on that and send out an email. I can ask the mayor for an update and get that. I apologize, I didn't have that ahead of time.
That's great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. No, that's fantastic. If we can just get an update, that'd be great.
Yeah, and also, was anybody able to check if the signage went up down at the boat
Joppa?
launch? Yeah.
Yes, I was told that a sign did go up.
This is my son's hand on my face.
Hello.
Okay, great. Tony, DPW had responded very quickly that they'd put it up. I said, I know it's hard with the snow and everything, but I was under the impression it was going to be put up. So I'm glad that was addressed quickly as well.
Yeah, as far as I know, it was. I haven't been down there to actually see it myself, but I was told that it was put up. So, I just want to stay on top of that gentleman. I think his name was John Morris. Does anyone remember?
Yeah, his name is John Morris.
Yeah, it was John Morris that lives right there, that had promised that he would repaint the hash marks on the ground once the weather permitted. I want to make sure that I don't know, Andy, if maybe you could reach out to him, because I don't know what kind of deal he had with the city or with DPS that was allowed to happen. Like, he could just, redo that spot with the,
Well, and as Andy said, it sounded like it wasn't exactly what they had originally said that they were creating. And so now with them having access driving over the spots is really tricky. So
right.
I think probably the ward counselor could be, held a little to task to make sure that gets done in their ward.
And that's far enough down. That's Ward 1, right?
I don't know. Andy Port, is Joppa Flats Ward 1 or 2?
Let me double check. I believe that's one, but let me just double check. I will check.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I can find out. I can try to find out. Yeah, because I just don't want to have that left open-ended and have that not painted, because
I agree.
otherwise he's
It's a
going to
shame.
continue using it inappropriately.
Right.
And that doesn't sit well with me at all. The whole thing is pretty unsettling to begin with, that he was even allowed to do it, just, because he donates money to the parks, I guess.
Can I just say that it seems a little bit unusual that a citizen would take on the responsibility of painting lines to specifications of, you know, the ADA, you know, it just seems a little
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah,
I-
no, I
I
think
do not
they're
disagree.
responsible for it, which means they have to pay somebody to do it. I don't think
Right.
anyone's expecting him to go out and do it. I think he's responsible for the cost of it.
Right. And it has to be done compliantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, that is something that, you know, maybe we can follow up on with the ward counselor, maybe have him reach out to that resident and make sure that he is held to task.
Yeah,
because-
and Court, do you have the information about that project, or is that?
Joppa you're talking about, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the garage that was built that allows them to drive through the other parking spots now.
Yeah, there's a complicated sort of mess about that. It's not clear exactly how something, what seems absurd, sort of happened in the first place. But I guess that's being looked into and resolved by others. I'll weigh in and assist as I can. But I understand that's being, I guess, addressed by others at this time.
Who are the
Parks
others?
Commission- Sorry?
Who are the
The
others?
Parks Department, the
Oh,
Parks
okay.
Department, the zoning administrator,
Okay,
and then the mayor's office, to my knowledge. So I can check on that, but to my understanding, that's already being handled by others. I think there's a couple of city councilors that are also, because they were notified of
they all think it's as ridiculous as we do.
Yeah, well, I was told at one point that, well, the original permit actually allowed them to have doors for boats to go out of that, to walk them down to the launch there. That would seem logical, but it's not clear to me how, in reviewing the plans for that, someone could not see that as also being a convenient use immediately for vehicles
Right.
driving out.
Right.
It's something, and I don't know whether this is just the zoning board of appeals didn't look at things as thoroughly, maybe years ago, or what exactly. We could look back in time, but the bottom line is it's got to be addressed now. Clearly it's absurd the way it's set up right now. Needs to be addressed, but I will leave that to others, except where I'm needed. Really, I think it's because it really comes down to a use of city land, and the Parks Department and Parks Commission has control over park space versus whether or not it's a zoning violation. That is the zoning administrator. So there are people already who are tasked to handle these particular situations based on what I know.
So Jenny, maybe an email from the commission to the mayor and park saying, like, we understand other people are looking at this issue. Like, we want as a commission to show our support because of the importance of that parking spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Just so that if they're already dealing with it, at least they know that the commission's backing them up, and you know what I mean? Maybe it gives
Agreed.
them some leverage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would also note, just
absolutely.
to clarify something you asked about earlier, this is the map I pulled up of the wards. So this is Ward 1 is, you can see on the map. If you have any questions, let me know, but you can see the dividing line of Ward 1 and Ward 2 by color. So I can zoom in or out if you want from different areas, but you can see that section along Joppa Park and the water there is Ward 1.
Okay. So that's Counselor Zede. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think Andrea, that's a pretty sound idea to just sort of follow up with all of those entities. And that'll hopefully be in the minutes, so I can pull that out.
Oh, yeah. I got it, Jenny.
Oh, good.
I mean,
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just who I want to include on that email. All right. What was after that, Brian?
Okay. After that is the resident at Heritage House who has an issue with trash disposal.
Okay, so I'm just gonna update everyone real quick on this one. I did get a resident who reached out to me. She first reached out to City Councilor Khan, who then reached out to me on her behalf about the trash chute that is the communal, waste management system at the Heritage House is basically a pull down sort of thing that you then, with one hand, you have to hold it open, and with the other hand, drop in your bag of trash. This resident is in a wheelchair. She is paralyzed on half of her side and does not have the use of both arms. And she's got a lot of other issues that caused her trash to be very assaulting, and she's not able to dispose of it properly, and it often gets left in the hall or by the trash disposal. She does unfortunately refuse help from like a PCA type of situation. And she's more seeking advocacy to see the building sort of maybe retrofit their trash chute with a different mechanism or way of opening it, which of course is a much bigger task to try to achieve. I tried to reach out to the Mass Office on, the Mass Architectural Access Board, and they're very short-staffed and they're not in their offices. I left a message on the phone number that was left for the compliance officer to be reached, and I haven't heard back from him. So I may try to follow up with him again to see if he got my message, but I'm not holding my breath. There's going to be much resolve for the situation, but I wanted to at least do my due diligence. So that's why it's on the agenda.
Okay.
Does anyone have any comments on that?
Is it feasible that that woman will be accommodated with some type of a system?
Is it feasible? I mean, it would involve the facility, changing its system. So
sorry.
Go ahead.
Are they in violation of her rights?
That's hard to say because it's private property. It's probably grandfathered in if it's an old system. I don't know. That's a tough
one. Yeah. I'm not, I mean,
well, and it's tough that she doesn't feel comfortable taking help, because I'm sure somebody's offered like, hey, put it out and we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
She
and
has
they're pretty
hours
accommodating there.
She's got, enough hours, sort of and they have a program where somebody can come in and help you every day for an hour. She does not want to use that as a resource. She's not comfortable with the helpers, so she just won't do it. So it's a little bit of I feel like it's just going to end up being a little bit of a stalemate. I mean, they're willing to accommodate her with the, the resources that they have. But she's not, that's not what she wants. So, I
agree. I think that'll be
feasible. I don't really see it being a possibility that they're going to come in and change the, how that building is outfitted with a trash disposal. But like I said, I mean, I just, I didn't want to leave her hanging. I didn't want to ignore her request for help and advocacy. So I did my diligence with trying to connect with someone at the MAAB to find out if there's anything that can be done. But just getting them on the phone is a challenge in of itself. So, I'll try again, but I'm not getting anywhere right now.
So she wouldn't even accept help if one of her neighbors would agree to help put the trash out?
Unfortunately, she is not very neighborly.
Okay.
And I don't believe that is an option.
Okay.
It's a very tricky and kind of sad situation.
Well, I think, Jenny, I think you're right. I think that will end up being a stalemate because if they've offered an accommodation and she's not accepting it, then that kind of ends that conversation, because for them to replace, unless there's a way to replace the door at a cost that is reasonable, replacing the entire system is not a reasonable accommodation, I don't think. And I would imagine that that's what they would say as well.
Agreed. Yeah. So, so there's that. Okay, what's next, Brian?
Okay. Next item is website needs updating desperately.
Okay, right. So Kristen's not here really to speak to. I know she wanted some help with that. I know she has a lot of information that we just need to get to, onto our site, onto our page. But since she's not really here to speak to it, we can just keep that tabled for now. And I think that's fine. We'll just keep it as continued business. And then, was that the last thing?
No, there's one more.
Okay,
The item number 6 is handicap parking space next to the Joppa boat ramp. Oh, we covered that.
oh, okay, we already,
Yeah.
we covered that.
Yeah.
Yep, we just jumped ahead, yeah. So it was relevant, so, okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
All right, well, Andrea, since you jumped on after we sort of went by what would have been any updates from you, do you have any other updates for us?
Ooh.
Is she still with us?
I don't know. I don't see her now.
Oh,
No, I'm here. Sorry. I
Oh, are
couldn't
you?
you are,
fast enough.
Sorry.
okay,
I am here. I don't have anything else to update right now.
okay, that's fine. Just wanted to double check. Have you checked the mailbox at City Hall? Like, are they forwarding you the mail for the?
Oh God, no, I didn't even realize that was a thing. I can check it. We don't even really go to City Hall anymore. So
Right.
thank you for putting that on my radar. I will
Yep.
I'll swing by tomorrow and see if there's anything exciting.
Yeah, because I know, like in the mailroom where the second box on the top, like the second one in,
Yep.
is the ADA coordinator and disability commission. And when we get the variance request copies, that's where they go. So I don't
Oh,
know if
okay,
anyone's
great. I
come
will
in.
definitely double check it and I'll ask
Yeah, I
them.
definitely haven't been. I
Okay.
should have checked it last time I was down there. But it was like appointment only and I didn't want to go wandering around the building. So, I didn't get to when I was there a couple weeks back. But yeah, if that can, if we can just make sure we're not losing anything in that mailbox, that'd be good. All right, well, I don't really have much else. I do want to bring up one quick thing is that I do know that the building department is interviewing for building inspector position. And I'm, just sort of following that along the sidelines just to see, who we might end up with in the long run. But so far, I don't believe anyone's been hired. So I'm just paying close attention, with that. And I guess that's about it. Does anyone have
Okay,
anything
so
else?
so the next meeting is scheduled for April 8th.
Oh, yes, early in the month. Right.
Good.
Okay.
Shall I make a motion that we adjourn?
I second. Roll call. Lisa,
Yes, aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Sean,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Colin.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. See you
Thank
all
you.
next month.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Andy, for hosting. And everybody have a great weekend.
Give you a big wave.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Aye.
Goodbye.